Have you ever wondered, what if an artichoke came to life? Well, have I got the creature for you, the pangolin. Not to be confused with Pygmalion, who is me, the one who made this pangolin sculpture. The most important thing about pangolins is that they have scales, or thin keratin plates, kind of like fingernails. To get a consistent thickness for all of these scales, I'm rolling some clay through my pasta machine. And I wasn't about to eyeball the shape of hundreds of scales, so I whipped up an SVG in Illustrator to use as a template for cutting all of them out. And I had my Cricut machine cut up this template for me. The scales are just rounded hexagons, and they gradually scale up the closer you get to the middle of the pangolin's body, and they scale down as you get closer to its body's edges, like its nose, tail, and sides. I added texture to all the scales with a flea comb. I think this comb would also work pretty well for adding texture to feathers, so gotta make another bird soon, I guess. Now, all of these scales have to go onto something, so I molded some wads of tinfoil around a wire to make something vaguely pangolin body shaped, something kind of between a dumpling and a chocolate chip. And I added some flat, wide pieces of tinfoil for the tail. Alright, now let's add all of these scales. Polymer clay sticks to itself pretty well, so I covered all of the foil in a thin layer of clay. It didn't need to be smooth or perfect because none of this was going to show, it just needed to exist. Then it was just a matter of arranging scale after scale after scale, couple hundred times. The scales go on both of the sides of the tail, otherwise it would be pretty easy for a lion to pry one of these guys open. The reason they have scales in the first place is for self-defense. When they're scared, they roll up into a ball, and I think using a spiky ball like a pangolin would make sports like soccer a lot more interesting. And pangolins actually even sleep curled up in a spiky ball like this. They might look a bit gangly when they aren't rolled up in a ball, but they're actually pretty strong swimmers, which is more than I can say about myself. Okay, so now let's add the spiky anteater's legs. Pangolins are actually kind of bipedal. They walk on just their back legs pretty often and also perform a lot of tasks bipedally. And with their front legs freed up from walking, they are able to wreak massive havoc using their powerful front legs, particularly on termite mounds because they like to eat termites. Some species of pangolin have prehensile tails, and they can hang from tree branches while tearing up tree bark to get at all the bugs living in the tree. I mean, imagine if a giant artichoke came and bulldozed down your front door to come and eat you. Yeah, so anyway, please enjoy me putting more scales on this guy while light jazz music plays in the background. Alright, so there's actually quite a few more scales to add, and actually, their spikes don't end outside their body. Pangolins have keratin spikes in their stomach too, but why? Well, pangolins don't have any teeth. So when they slurp up their favorite snacks like termites and ants, they actually can't chew them. At least not chew them up in their mouth like you and me might chew on a termite. They let their stomach, quote unquote, chew their food for them. The upper part of their stomach, which is called the gizzard, is covered in spikes, just like the outside of their bodies are, and the spiky stomach lining grinds up their food for them. So while scales are vital for pangolins, being alive, they're actually turning out to be the downfall of these animals too. All 8 species of pangolins are poached extensively for their scales, and their scales are used by quacks to make what is essentially snake oil. Farmers have tried to cultivate pangolins in captivity, but these animals have such delicate immune systems that it's pretty much impossible to breed them in captivity, so they're pretty much going extinct in the wild so that someone can smear pangolin scale juice on their face to try and cure malaria, or whatever these snake oil salesmen are saying pangolin scales do. So kids, if someone offers you pangolin scale juice, just say no. Okay, so with all of the scales on, it's time to add the finishing touches, like this guy's long tongue. Unfortunately, it's not as sticky as it would be in real life, but we make do with what we have. Now then, after baking this pangolin, I'm just painting over the whole creature with some white acrylic paint. I thought it was more striking all white than in bronze or brownish olivey, so I just kept it that way. But unfortunately, clay is quite sticky, so no matter how clean your hands and desk are, they'll still pick up a little bit of dirt and grime. So adding a little bit of acrylic paint over the whole thing just makes it look really clean and pristine. Yeah, that's right. I just rhymed. Awesome. Okay, anyway. Here is the finished pangolin, which, by the way, I was referencing the Temenix pangolin, or just the ground pangolin. This guy is very handsome and very spiky, and I think its name should be Artichoke. Alright, thanks for watching. Like if you like pangolins, and if you don't like it. Okay, bye.